or language is not permitted. In order to maintain respect for all points of view, the board requests no clapping, booing, or any other form of support or non-support be used. If you would like to address the board, we ask that you come to the podium, state your name, and limit your comments to no more than 3 minutes. If questions are asked by the speaker pursuant to and subject to the limits of Florida Statute 129.03 and/or 200.065, the response of the board, if any, will be included into your total allotted time, or you will not be given additional time to allocate for any said responses provided to the question. At the end of your time, I'll ask you to finish your thought, and then please take your seat. Your participation is welcome and appreciated. The public hearing was advertised in Washington County News on September 14th, 2013. The increase in the millage over the rollback rate needed to fund the budget is minus 3.36%. Proposed millage rate is set for 8.9195 mils, which is lower than the rollback rate of 9.2300. The rollback rate would have generated $7,720,511. The actual rate, the 8.9195 millage rate generates $7,460,791. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to address the board with any questions pertaining to the proposed millage rate of 8.9195 mils? Is there anyone on the board who would like to address the board with any questions pertaining to the proposed millage rate of 8.915 mils? All right, board action is needed to adopt the millage resolution 2013-7 adopting the millage rate of 8.9195 as the millage rate for fiscal year 2013-14. Need a roll call vote.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make the motion.
Can I ask a question? I mean, we make a motion and second it before we
let's
have
do
a
that.
discussion.
All right, I've got a motion by Commissioner Pate,
I'll second it.
second by Commissioner Abbott. Any discussion?
If I don't know, Mr. Attorney, if it's appropriate, I would be willing to raise this, the millage up if it would save the 3 jobs that we're losing. I would be in favor of that. The concern here from the board is using cash carry forward. Of course, all the budgets that we proposed is using cash carry forward. I don't know what the number is that this board has approved and all, but I would be willing to raise this millage rate if it would save the 3 jobs that we're looking at losing here.
I think that the board has the ability to raise the millage rate. I don't think it can raise the millage rate tonight. It's always been my understanding if the board chooses to raise the millage rate, it has to resend out the notices and have more public hearings, and the board has to absorb the cost of the resending of the effective document. So if the board doesn't adopt a millage or proposes a new millage tonight, which is a raise of a millage, then I think we have to go through a new procedure. And I would like to hear from the clerk on that. That's always been my understanding.
Yes, it would have to be re-advertised as an increase, and then the trim notices would have to be sent back out.
And the board would have to absorb the cost of that.
Mr. Chairman, the only thing we can do tonight is change the line items in here to make them balance without going back to some kind of special thing.
Yeah, the easy thing to do tonight is, if you were going to do anything which is different, would be to amend the actual line items of the budget. To amend the millage is a lot more complicated and expensive process.
And I also know, board, and I know that I haven't been involved in board conversation with, I know that the hospital, when it was set up and taken over by another entity, there was an agreement made up. Johnny, you could help me with this, and you and Risha, that we've got like $96,000 a year coming in starting 2014.
2015.
So it's not starting 14?
It's December 2015.
December of 2015. So that would be. course, I don't know if this is about money anyways, but, okay, we got a motion and a second.
Got a motion and a second. We use a roll call vote if there's no further discussion. Commissioner Scott?
Yes.
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 The total budget excluding MSBU for fiscal year ending September 30th, 2014 is $22,471,139. The total MSBU budget is $599,186 for a total budget of $23,070,325. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to address the board with questions pertaining to the budget for fiscal year ending September 30th, 2014?
We want to discuss what we did, y'all did mostly last week. Folks are bringing lawsuits down on faster than we can get the money to line up for them. Cash carried, I don't see the difference between cash carried on the one that we picked, the other down there, except the dollar figures. Cash carry means it's coming out of some pot that you can get it. And if it's cash carry at reoccurring firms, funds, and it's the same thing all the way down, except 3 people's going to lose their job. I have never heard of this, I've never seen it, and I'm ashamed to be a part of it.
Johnny, can I get you to speak in a touch off guard, and I know it's probably a little bit unfair. Last year, we had $570,000, which was the less 5%. Out of the less 5%, can you tell me how much we collected on that one line item? It was budgeted 570-some
I
thousand.
know we got over, it was like 300, I think it was 370-something thousand over last year.
So we got 370,000 more than the 570, which was less 5%. Is that accurate?
We just got that, the 370 was that much more revenue that we received in that we actually budgeted.
So we had an additional 370,000 more than what we had budgeted.
Correct.
Would y'all be willing to use that additional 370,000 to fund them 3 jobs?
All it would take is, you already got 212 in there.
Yeah.
It would only take, I think, 180.
108 additional.
I'd like to address excuse me, I would like to address the 5 that everybody said that was the cause of the budget. They didn't get hauled in the other 3 months that they were losing that, those jobs. What's happened to these folks here is, it's not even Christian or even unchristian.
I would just like to be on record as saying, the evidence is there, which is in the money. It's very obvious. Last week I shared with y'all, 2 weeks ago I shared with y'all on not my documents, but the clerk's documents of the banking accounts. The money's there. And if y'all was a little bit concerned whether that was true or untrue, I would hope that you had spent some time in the clerk's office where they could have showed you that it was true. And I really think that this board as a whole is making a terrible mistake by unfunding them 3 positions. And I want to be on record to say that.
Technically 7.
Well, 7 positions, I understand. But 4 of them are not filled. 4 of them are not filled. The 3 that I'm talking about is where you've got a person sitting in the job, and I understand that there's 4. Yeah, I understand that there was 4 that were not filled, that were just not really filling in positions. But I'm more concerned about the 3 that was in the jobs. I just won't be on record to say that I'm really concerned about that. And I don't know, the projection 40 at human resource, that doesn't help with the other 2 positions, but I mean, if there's something this board can do up here with that, I would like to have all three of them. The money's there. Johnny, is the money there?
I mean, we did project 50 when we were in there.
Okay. The money's there, and I just asked y'all one more time, last time to reconsider. I'd like to fill these three jobs. It's not personal. I'm not against any one of these board members, but we're affecting the lives, families of three individuals here, and it's not necessary because the money is there.
And it was done in a pretty public, from July on, it's been passed on, and every time they know it's in there. And nobody's given them no home date yet, unless it happened today.
Charles, do you believe the money's there?
I couldn't tell you, I've heard so much here in the last week or two.
Johnny.
Shifting, politics getting into this, man. Why wouldn't 50 get started with? You was against it, you was against it, you was against it, and I was against it. Only one that mentioned 50 was Mr. Bush. You was for 40, you was for 40.
No, I
Not
wasn't
when
for
50
else.
come out.
I was.
And all of a sudden, and here at the tail end of this, we're here, we've got the money now, it's in 50.
It's not.
The committee came with a recommendation on the rollback,
It always
and this
shows-
board voted.
And we always had those projections, y'all had a choice for those
That's right.
projections.
You're showing
And
different
20 was
cash.
chosen, correct? Todd, you know, you made a motion for 40 on the rollback.
No, sir.
He didn't.
I did.
No, he didn't, because he didn't know there was a form. I
You did?
don't know how.
30 is the one that I was
30.
pushing. We're all of them, and we'll even call it Miss Cook's 50. My 30 was basically the same as her 50, would have had all the employees in there. And I tried to get 30 done.
30 didn't happen.
Yes, it did too, yes, sir. I built 30.
30?
Yes. You know, I don't know what legalities, what we need to do, but I
We're
would,
gonna have to change 3 lines on this board.
I would like to approve a budget that had the 3 employees that were unfunded. I don't know what we need to do here. But I'm prepared to make that motion.
Well, I think we still got a motion and a second on the floor with the millage.
Millage rate.
I may be wrong. I don't want to overstep.
We voted on that.
Have we voted on that? Roll call. I
Right now,
apologize.
board action is needed
The board-
to adopt the budget resolution 2013-8, which is a total budget of $23,070,325.
Maybe do the public hearing on that, and then we can deal
We've
with
already
the
gone
board
through
action.
that.
Okay.
We're right at number 10.
The board has the ability to set or amend the line items as it sees fit tonight. From a policy perspective, the board can do what it wants to do. That's as far as I'll take it, but the board has got the ability under the line item to amend the budget as long as it's balanced in the end.
Number 10.
The key is the board has got to tonight, you gotta adopt the final budget. You got to tonight. So you can amend it, but you gotta adopt the final tonight.
Attorney Goodwin.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have to have another tentative and then another final.
I don't believe so. I think you've got the right to amend as long as you've had your 2 public hearings. I think the millage, we have to do something else.
Okay.
Charles quit lying about what I voted for. I didn't vote for anything except the 50. Because that's all that, you just said, I voted.
We voted.
20. So if you're gonna talk about it, get it straight.
20 is the one that was voted.
That's fine. You can vote too.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we accept budget 2013-08, setting the budget at $23,070,325.
All right, I've got a motion to adopt budget resolution 2013-8. Looking for a second.
I'll second that motion.
Got the motion seconded by Commissioner Brock. do a roll call vote.